All right, guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So, past couple days, especially while Dokkan is slow, we're kind of waiting for LR Cell Max to kind of like drop in game. Obviously, at this point, we did kind of see LR Cell Max. We saw his animations, we saw his kit and stuff like that. So, indeed, the hint they tweeted out a couple of days was, in fact, for Cell Max. Now, I've done a couple of these hot take videos. I mean, they're doing pretty good. People are enjoying them. I mean, I feel like I got a little creative with some of the thumbnails, perhaps, but people are liking it. Now, I saw two takes. I saw one, someone quote tweeted one from this thread, and I looked at that, and I kind of like, I did a side eye, and I was like, well, okay, that's definitely not true, but I like the way it was worded, because I could kind of expand upon a big major point with that. And then I just clicked and saw the top take, and I said, okay, sure, yeah, we'll knock this out. But I did reply that, like, okay, I'll do one. And a bunch of people are like, no, they're just baiting just to get you to do a video on it, and they're just, saying shit just to make it into a video. So let's keep an eye out for this. I mean, maybe I should be more selective, right? The thing is I did one 2 days ago, then I did one yesterday, and now everyone is like, all right, hot take thread, let's go. Like, they're trying to make it into a video. So I might need to be a little bit more incognito, kind of just strike in the night, I don't know. Let's jump in. Again, we have a nice, I already know what the thumbnail is going to be, so I actually already have the thumbnail made at the time of this, so you guys clicking in and you know exactly what the major focus is going to be, but let's just go ahead and see what we got. Yeah, so I saw this. So this is just flat out wrong. LR Cooler is never top 10, wrong. He was glazed as hell back because of his big damage. Now, yes, this is true. Now, you guys know me, right? I'm Mr. Defense, 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 defense. Defense wins championships. I mean, it's true in a lot of real-life sports. I mean, it's true in Dokkan as well. You're going to win with defense. But, there does come a point where you are actually doing so much damage, and usually it's going to be in the form of a character like this, who, when he dropped, LR Cooler was a Dokkan Fest LR from one of the biggest celebrations in Dokkan history. He was, in fact, that good. And, I mean, when you start talking about him as a glass cannon, I mean, he certainly is. Well, now he doesn't even do good damage, but, I mean, back then, like, he was effective against the big bosses of the time. I mean, again, people, like, a lot of times people want to go and rewrite history, right? Like, Cooler is completely 100% dead now. So we're just going to pretend that he was always shit and stuff like that. And it's just flat out not the case, right? Cooler was more than fine defensively against a lot of those bosses back then. Like, he was not overly struggling. You could get him to tank AGL Broly in, the Red Zone movie stage back then. Like, Cooler was him. He was that good. So, like, saying, like, this is insanity, right? Like, this is why, like, people will go, like, okay, like, like, you could have your takes, but I respect your opinions. No, I'm sorry. No offense to anyone, but fuck that. Opinions can be wrong. This is wrong, all right? Like, when we're talking about Dokkan especially, I got no problem just telling you're wrong. Tough. A lot of people get very mad at me, but, like, tough. It is what it is. So, yeah, it's just completely wrong. All right, let's see. Now, I only saw that, and then the thumbnail take. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so units that need to die in order to revive and get better tend to age out very fast. I mean, yeah, that is true. Revive should be used in a way of a clutch factor, not an excuse to build units and lock them behind dying. I mean, yeah, I mean, mostly, yes. I mean, but it's just, not every character, remember, it's a gacha game, right? Like, not every character is lasting for years and shit. Like, it's just how it is. I feel like these two were great. I don't look at them, like, now through the lens of history and say, 23rd World Tournament Goku, man, not really quite good enough. Like, no, that's, he was good. He dominated for a year. I mean, that's, once you start getting past a year and you're really wanting a character to continue dominating at that high of a level, it's just kind of not realistic. I mean, Dokkan, like, it's a gacha game, right? They're gonna cycle these units in and out. Measuring stick, of course, being the biggest, toughest events. And you could tell that they were really in a mood to cycle a bunch of characters out with how strong the events are this year. But, Dokkan has kind of, I think, done it in a good way where they've made the easy A's of this year more than capable of competing, including super easy A's now. I mean, I don't disagree, but I mean, remember, like the only thing about this is not an excuse to build units and lock them behind dying. I mean, they're going to build units in different ways. I mean, if every unit is LRG and people go, oh my god, it's so boring. Every character's just guard and, stuff like that. So it's fine. No. Best era Dokkan was the LG era. See, when people start talking about this is mostly just... Let me read it all and then... Okay. Best era Dokkan was LGE era. This is where Dokkan peaked. Hardest event wasn't limited tries. People found unique teams and combinations to beat it. It was a fun but difficult event. Now every hard event is annoying. Everyone runs the same teams. I mean, some of this certainly can be true. The hardest event wasn't limited tries. Now, I mean, I go back and forth on this. You could pretty easily make the case that Cell Max is the hardest fight in Dokkan. And there's not limited tries. I'm just saying. And, I mean, the other thing, too, is that, Dokkan nowadays, right, they'll do the no-item missions, the EX missions. Let me just show the thumbnail for one of these. What was the last one? It was Rosé Goku Black. Rosé Goku Black. Yeah, here it is right here. I made sure to get the little EX mission on there. So they will do these missions for these events now. And it's, like, one of them is, no items, like, heavily restricted and stuff like that. But they remove the attempt limits for, like, the EX missions, at least. I mean, of course, some of the other big ones, they don't. But for those, they do. They do. People find unique teams and combinations to beat it. I mean, that could still happen. Fun but difficult event. I mean, I would argue, to me personally, I'd argue Kid Buu counts as that. I mean, Kid Buu is very hard, obviously, but this, like, best era of Dokkan, and it's, like, anything other than right now. I mean, if you're going to say you're not really having too much fun with Dokkan right now because you're a global player, like, I do kind of get that. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. Because, JP, we've got 25, really good, tough, different fights that are designed differently with different types of enemies and shit like that. And there's all these good teams we could use and all these good characters. And then it doesn't feel quite the same on global, unfortunately, because they run global, like, the Muppets. But, I mean, it's just like we are living in the best era of Dokkan now. Like, there's been a lot of quality of life improvements in many different ways. This is mostly, like, a combination of, like, nostalgia talking. And then, like, I mean, I guess the term I could use is burnout. Like, when you've been playing the same game all the time for years, I mean, that's how it's gonna go. Like, a burnout type thing. Stop making units specifically for one fight. Why is Future Gohan here? Stop making units specifically for one fight. Which fight are we saying Future Gohan was made for? I mean, he's very good against Fusion Zamasu, but I wouldn't say he's designed specifically for that. I mean, Future Gohan could take damage from Zamasu's AoE. Units like this are hot garbage because they always age out by the next celebration. These two are proof of that. These two? You can't put Future Gohan next to this kid. This is crazy. Dude, Future Gohan is not... Future Gohan has fallen off of, like, the teams I've been using on. Let's pull up Future Gohan. Let me just, like, examine, like, his teams and stuff like that. Maybe let's look at, like, his, 200% teams as well. So, Future Gohan. Let me pull up his 200% leaders. Hold on. Let me just find him real quick. All right, Future Gohan. What are you rocking with, buddy, in terms of 200%? I mean, instantly, like, yeah. All right, well, there's someone on there. Yeah, okay. I mean, to be fair, this is not a real team. That's not a real team. That's not a real team. That's not a real team. I mean, I don't want to run this guy as leader, but it certainly is a real team. This is a little iffy. Double of them in the 9th anniversary meta is a little iffy, but, I mean, you could do it. And then, what else does he have? Let's see what this boy's got. So... Hybrid, Goku family. I mean, Goku family could very easily get, like, a Dokkan Fest LR or something like that. I really am sitting here thinking... I feel like this is, like, the 4th year in a row I've said this, but I think Blue Kaioken and Hit for Tanabata makes a ton of sense. I mean, that could give us, Blue Kaioken Goku, maybe he's a Goku family leader or something like that. But Hit, I mean, I remember I did say this a couple months ago too. I'm predicting that 2024 is going to be the year of super bosses. We're going to get repeated super bosses buffs. You know, it's going to 2023. They push Power Wishes as the main category, and I figured this year might be similar with how they're operating with super bosses. And like now we have LR Cell Max, and we had Topo, and we had Rosé Goku Black, and it's like they just keep going with the super bosses. So I do think Hit, you know, an LR Hit and a Blue Kaioken can make sense. I mean, we need a real Goku family leader, a Dokkan Fest LR level Goku family leader for sure. Bond, that's Beast. Bond, a parent and child, needs a real one as well. I mean, we can run this guy on Broly's team. The only thing about that is, of course, you know, the domain. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the global version, but Broly leads transformation boost. But yeah, I mean, we're not really going to run future Gohan and Broly's team because of the domains clashing. Earthbred Fighters needs a real leader as well. This is another one. I mean, you listen, like when I say these things, like a lot of times people like to twist things I say. It's the community's favorite thing to do. But like you can win every event with double 23 World Tournament Goku, sure, but it's very risky and it's very easy for him to get exploded, right? Like he's not like a real, like a good. I do not consider him a good leader whatsoever. I mean, he leads a good roster, but he's not a good leader. He's not a good character. So it's like, you know, we could get like a new Earthbred Fighter leader. Like future Gohan can perform well. Like putting these two side by side. I never really want to be rude, but like you're not really understanding the issues of what Super Saiyan 4 Goku has. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, it's not even about he was designed for one fight. It's that he needs to be put in slot 1 specifically. That is his problem. Goku is really only effective in base in slot 1, and that is a major issue. Major issue. Future Gohan does not have this issue. And the thing is that Future Gohan is on all these superclass teams that don't really have domains. I mean, we know a domain update is coming, so I could really see a domain update happening before we get more superclass domains. Yeah, no, I can't agree. I mean, I'm looking at this. I don't think this is not a bait thread. I don't think. Because it's like putting Future Gohan on here. Like, that's kind of in the back of my head. I'm looking at, like, was this just made to... Like, I'm sure the person obviously wanted me to make a video on it, but I'm not looking at this as specifically, like baiting me. Because I don't talk about Future Gohan very much, right? Like, there's just no reason to, but I do think he's quite good still. I don't like Future Gohan... Because, remember, another thing I say is, it's very good to be very strong at the start of fights right now. Like, you could really make that work a lot easier than if you start out very iffy, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Some characters that start out iffy can be a little, well, I mean, a bit annoying, I guess. All right, what do we got next? Oh, yeah, Dokkan was the worst thing Dokkan's ever done. I heavily disagree. Almost every hardest red zone fight isn't fun in the slightest. I mean, listen, yeah, they're super hard, but... I mean, it truly is meant to be the upper limits of content. This is why everyone is crying about the Legendary Frieza event, and I can't get on board with it. There's nothing wrong with them releasing a weaker, like, mid-tier event like the Legendary. I would almost, please, people, debate me. The Legendary Frieza event is fine, as it is, as a mid-tier event. Because, you know, we've got, again, it's, you know, global players, it feels a little bit different, again, because, I mean, they're morons with how they're operating global right now. I mean, no offense to anyone at Akatsuki and Bandai and stuff like that, but, like, I mean, run global better. Like, it's, you know, like, just period. But it's like the Legendary Frieza event is fine when we have Supreme Battle Spectacle. If you look to your left, to your right, you know, this just got updated with Movie Boss Rush, and then we've also got all this other shit. Like, yeah. Year 7 Power Group is one of the most unfun time periods in Dokkan history. I'd be very curious to know if this is a JP player, because I only ever see complaining about 7th anniversary. Like, it would only be from JP. Like, and the 7th anniversary celebration, most consider the best in the game's history. Doesn't help that it's restricted to limited tries. I mean, sure, I get that. I mean, I don't agree. This is a PvE game. So, like, if there's no actual challenging events, it's like, I mean, I get, you know, people will play it to collect, but, I mean, there's a lot of people who like to play the game. You do need tough fights. I don't know, I don't agree. I've seen a lot of people say that they hate Red Zone because it's so tough, but, I mean, there's a lot of events in the game. It's not just Red Zone. People who shit on physical God Goku are just doing it for clout. I don't think it's just for clout. Certainly not. But, I mean, it's just... I mean, there's, you know, people who just... I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's people get very weird about very particular things. He's aged. He's still very much relevant. I mean, he's as usable as Gamma 1 or Android 21 or, you know, one of those pre-2024 TURs. Like, he's just right in line with those other characters. Tech Gohan controversial again? Not quite. That was a little bit different because it really was like a year and a half later, right? Like, well, I mean, I guess we are closing in on that for God Goku, huh? Because remember, the thing is that Tech Ultimate Gohan was one of the better options for Red Zone when it first dropped. And, you know, Tech Gohan was 17 months old, 18 months old. I guess, to be fair, God Goku is actually approaching that age range now, right? God Goku is what? 15 months old? So, like, if there's a new hardest fight for worldwide and God Goku is still very effective in there, that would be kind of similar time frame to Tech Gohan being very effective in Red Zone, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I have seen a lot of people get very sensitive and salty about stacking and guarding, but guess what? Defense fucking matters. Like, it's actually kind of a big deal. Orb changing and dodging. Although, to be fair, with this guy right now, it's mainly this. But I mean, the fact that he does have some guard means he can. He very much does feel a lot of times like dodge or die, though. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's lock in. Whew! This is what we're here for right here. Okay, I'm going to read the whole thing. It's worded in a particular way that I do like, which is why we can kind of like talk about this. Post-Revive, I think Mastered UI, AGL UI Goku, and Evolution Blue Vegeta are better than Beast. Especially after Beast's intro drops off. These two guys are practically unstoppable post-Revive and basically carry you through everything in the game. For Beast, after his intro drops, you need to rely on his active. Now, we might as well just quickly pull the 3 characters up here. All right. So let's go over this. So there is a bit of a well, okay. So when UI Goku or Vegeta revive, they do get a lot better. And a big thing about both UI Goku and Vegeta, right, is this right here. So we're highlighting the exact same. Again, these characters are very similar in that they're kind of like mirrors of each other and how they have abilities and stuff like that. But okay, so it's made that they work like 23rd World Tournament Goku, where, you know, let's say we're running both. If UI Goku revives, Vegeta gets the buff as well, right? So they get an extra 7 key, 77% attack and defense. Now, just that alone does not really put them on Beast's level. It doesn't. Because the thing about Beast is it's not really just raw stats. It's the thing about him is a lot of the fight. Now, we're going to get into it. They did say, like, when his intro wears off, right? Because, again, while his intro is up, I mean, yeah, dude, like, yeah, guess what? But here's the thing. The superhero team is slicing through events like butter. So a lot of times, I mean, besides, like, the final turn against Gogeta and stuff like that, like, it does become tough to lose his intro. Because you'd have to lose his intro, then you use his active skill, and then for another turn to be after that, doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It just does. It doesn't happen. Like, that's not a thing. Like, it's like you have to go out, like, you have to intentionally try and sabotage, or we're babying really shitty characters on the team. One of those two. But when this is up, I mean, he has 40% damage reduction right there. He's just guarding, right? Understand that. Then he's going to get this extra 20% damage reduction right there. And then, I mean, it depends, but, I mean, if you're playing efficiently and effectively to win, you're probably going to want this guy in slot 1. And then once this is up, I mean, he's at 80% damage reduction with guard. 80%. So, like, you have all that, and you have the built-in crits, you have the built-in guaranteed additional super, and then the support. It's like UI and Vegeta, they can't just match Beast with these stats, right? Like, it's where I do think, like, people want these characters to be on the level of Beast more so than he actually is, right? So this is why when you start talking about post-revive, because it's not correct. Now, Where a character like both Vegeta and UI Goku can operate more in Beast Gohan realm is the next line for both of them, right here. But here's the thing. This ability, specifically, they have to revive to trigger this, right? So UI has 100% dodge. So him is like, I mean, that's kind of just like he can't be touched. Now, to be fair, it's Beast and Vegeta don't really take damage either. But, like, UI actually has true perfect dodging. Like, he cannot be touched, which is just... I mean, like, UI Goku and Vegeta... It does, like, these three... It does, like, thinking of a world where these guys are, like, Beast is, like, 9th best unit in the game, and, like, Vegeta is, like, 10 or 11 or something like that. Like, what kind of world are we going to be living in this game where that's going to be a thing? Like, it seems so crazy with how many mechanics and how powerful these guys are. But, like, that's when these two start to get really crazy. Because, remember, here's the thing. So, a lot of the fight, Beast Gohan is running around with 60 or 80% damage reduction with guard. Vegeta only has that his first turn, or if he does revive, it's only for one turn. So that's the thing. When you say post-revive, I mean, you could say they enter into his territory for one specific turn. But even if Vegeta revives, he's only guarding for one turn after he revives. Now, I would say this too. I don't know. I would love to find out what the rate is. Like, how often do I use Vegeta and, like, he revives? How often do I use Goku and he revives? I feel like it's not common. Like, I definitely do see UI Goku and Vegeta reviving here and there, and it's very big. I mean, that's one reason I do have... I think even after the reveal of LR Cell Max, I'm not super comfortable at the moment putting Cell Max in the tier with these three, but I think he potentially could be. As I've said, I pulled this up a bunch of times recently. Don't worry about these. I would change this around drastically. Don't worry about that. The top three, I would not change whatsoever. I think this is perfectly fine as it is. And I don't think Cell Max really breaches into this territory. But it's because there's so many situations where all three of these characters are, borderline untouchable with their mechanics. And, Beast has his active skill, which covers the entire rotation. And Vegeta and UI can do the same thing. Both have very good revives. Funny enough, I do feel like I actually get UI Goku's revive more often than Vegeta. I feel like, but again, that's just like kind of like off the top of my head. Like, I don't know if that's actually true. I would, like, in an argument, say I think Vegeta probably has the best revive condition. Just get hit 5 times. But understand that Vegeta, outside of turn 1, or specifically if Vegeta himself revives, you're not really going to put him in slot 1 unless you're taking on massive risk. Vegeta doesn't really go in there. Now, here's the thing. Again, you're not really seeing a situation for Beast after his intro drops, you need to rely on his active. But his intro is going to be fading once you get to the last phase, or you're beating it with Beast's intro still up. Like, this argument, I feel like doesn't really hold up. It's not, like, the only fight where that's, like, actually seriously a thing would be, like, Red Zone Movie Boss Rush. But Red Zone Movie Boss Rush is not hard enough to test Beast without his intro and without his active. It's not. Like, Janemba's not touching Beast. Bojack can't touch Beast. Broly can, but you're going to have your active for Broly, even at that point. So, it's just, people really badly want to just be like, yeah, like, Vegeta's up there and stuff like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they're just not. Beast is up there by himself. Because the intro, dude, he's rocking 80% damage reduction for most of the fight. 80% with guard while he's guarding the whole time. Like that's a big difference between Vegeta and Gohan. Gohan is just always guarding. Vegeta has the one turn at the start, which is very good, by the way. I love that Vegeta shows up, UI Goku show up, and like we can kind of get situated in the fight, and they're untouchable. That's why, I mean, that's a major reason I think these three are far and away the best three in the game. Even after Cell Max, I think I'm going to have Cell Max at 4. I mean, obviously, he's not even in-game and stuff like that, but you guys get what I'm saying. Certainly, though, the first turn, if Vegeta himself specifically revives, I mean, he's going to show up with good defense. He is guarding. And then, you know, if he gets hit a couple of times, he's going to have the same damage reduction as Beast. Where is it? It's right here. Right? Like, he you know, Beast with his intro, and then Vegeta after revive, like, they'll be very similar, where it's like 80% damage reduction and guard. But it's so specific. It's just, I see a lot of talk about this, and it's just like, I mean, like, again, like, Beast is just way above. And that's not even counting the fact that, like, the active skill, again, is something you choose when to do this. UI Goku and Vegeta's revives are very good, but you're not choosing when to do that. That's out of your hands. Because even still, these are very elite characters that it's very difficult for them to die, even if you're trying to... All three of these characters, even if you're intentionally trying to die, it's hard to get them killed. I mean, UI Goku probably dies the easiest because he could just not dodge. But it's like, even Vegeta, if you throw him in slot 1 and the boss decides, I'm going to do a couple normals first, like, they're not killing Vegeta. It becomes very difficult to revive. You don't see that revive too often. It's a problem with Fat Boo as well. Oftentimes, Fat Boo is actually too good to revive. He's just too strong defensively. So, but yeah, it's like, Beast, unfortunately, is just well ahead. He's well ahead. I think specifically the one turn, it's not post-revive, that's not correct. It's one turn after Vegeta revives, he can get very similar to Beast. Like, you're pretty much, they're doing the same thing, basically. Right? Vegeta could triple crit. Beast could triple crit. Beast could have guard 80% damage reduction. Vegeta can have guard 80% damage reduction. Like, they're, like, right there. Like, very, like, basically the same thing. But that's only one specific turn if Vegeta himself revives. So. But this is why Dokkan is in such a good spot, by the way. Is because, I mean, these guys came out in January of 2021. 2021. January 2021 is when these guys came out. So, it's like, when Dokkan is doing that, I mean, it's just, you know, like, that's just really good for the game. When you've got these characters, like, Beast is, like, far and away the best character they've ever made. And it's like, you know, people are arguing that EZA characters are close to him. It just shows how good Dokkan is doing with EZAs. These are probably the best age units that got an EZA last year. I mean, off the top of my head, I'd probably have to say yeah. I can't think of someone who, you know, would be better. Because, I mean, these guys are a year and a half old, right? They came out in February 2023. It's their mechanics, man. It's Vegeta and UI, I'd have to imagine, are going to be in a similar spot next year, too. Right? Those mechanics that Vegeta and UI are carrying around, like, that shit's not just going to go away. I mean, UI, they could hard counter by having events that cancel dodge. That will hard counter UI, and I guess these two as well. But that's not going to work on Vegeta. So, they're still 100% usable in today's hard content. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Especially when you have them as reliable floaters, sure. Better in slot 3 than slot 1 and 2 as well, so it works out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the difference between them and LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which Cosmic here kind of went over their head about why Super Saiyan 4 Goku struggles so much. It's not that he's designed for one particular fight, it's that he's designed to have to be in slot 1. Whereas these characters, like, as characters age out, they're not going to slot 1. They're not going to slot 2. They're going to be, like, floated off. So the fact that their best abilities and base is floating them off, you know, it just works to their advantage. And then they come back and they have 100% dodge. I mean, those types of tools age really well, and you'll be able to get a lot of value out of them. I mean, obviously, even, like, you know, back then their damage was like, oh my god. But now it's like, you know, Gogeta gets the guaranteed crits at 24 key, and then it's just, he just has a bunch of normals, where it's like, you know, Vegeta, UI, and then Evolution Blue and Blue Kaioken, like, they're doing that, except they're doing 50 supers along with their crits as well. Super EZA's not changing the super attack effect will make them age out extremely fast. Yeah, I mean, newsflash, that's kind of the point. EZAs are meant to assist, like, in this meta. They're not making super EZAs to dominate the game for years to come, though. Again, these are characters. I mean, I think the Dokkan Fest LR anniversary characters are very clearly designed in a different fashion. And I've said this repeatedly, I have been saying this over and over, Dokkan Fest LRs I have huge expectations for because they're repeatedly top 5 characters after the EZA. So we're not talking about them. But just like regular EZA TURs and stuff like that, a lot of them this year have been very impressive, sure. And a lot of the Super EZAs have been very impressive, sure. But these characters are not, like, intended to get their Super EZA and then, all right, we're good for the next 2 years for Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, that's not the point. Especially units that don't already gain defense on Super. Yeah, again, but that's kind of the point. Like, they're helping teams right now, not a year from now. Okay, take Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for example. Yes, I'll take him, but guess what he does? He helps Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku right now. He's helping him at this moment. He was cool on release, yeah, but now what does he even do? He helps Super Saiyan 3 Goku. That's what his purpose is. Like, if you look at these Super EZA characters, right? Kid Buu is there to help Fat Buu. Physical Goku Black is there to help Physical Rosé. This guy seems designed for Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and he helps him out. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is for the Special Pose team. Topo, Ginyu. Like, there's very good intentions, good design with all the Super EZAs. They've done a great job with all the Super EZAs, I would argue. Great job. Because they're exactly what we asked for. Don't do what they did to Kale. Don't do what they did to Turles. Don't do what they did to Super 17. And that's exactly what they're not doing, and it's helping that the Super EZAs are existing. Right? Rosé, dude, it's actually a lot easier to run him with Super EZA Goku Black. Legitimately. It's a rainbow orb changing big bad boss's character. That's what Rosé Goku Black needs. And then now we're getting LR Cell Max, who has the taunt mechanic, like Beast and Blue Gogeta. It's exactly what Rosé needs. Super EZAs, I would grade Dokkan with an A+ for Super EZAs. I don't care. They get an A+ from me for Super EZAs. Speaking of bad designs, one of the worst designs in all Dokkan is when a unit falls off under a certain amount of turns. I mean, bro, but every character has something. Like, it's not... Like, I mean, even Beast is not just for free. I mean, it's close to for free, I guess. But these characters aren't just, all right, 80% damage reduction at the start of turn. Like, who has that? You know, LR Golden Frieza. Oh, wait, no, yeah, he runs out. Oh, AGL TUR Golden Frieza. Oh, yeah, it's conditional on HP. Like, they're not... Like, again, understand it is a gacha game. Like, you know, there's intentionally going to be certain limitations and stuff like that so they can make the next iteration, the next version, better. Especially since events are longer. I mean, yeah, they can, but you can also blaze through a lot of these fights very quick. Especially with this guy. Like, that's the thing with this guy. That's where a lot of people, no offense, weren't understanding this guy. They were thinking that he was going to get... he loses all that damage reduction, he's going to get smoked. Well, no, actually, he blazes through events so damn fast that by the time you reach the point where his intro is gone, you pop his active skill, and then the fight is ending. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Beast intro. Like, by the time Beast intro is ending, the fight is done. It's over. It's the same thing with this guy. So, no, I mean, again, I will take, you know, abilities fading as time goes on over needing to get hit or something like that. I mean, every character has to build up in some fashion. You know, you have to get orbs. You have to get hit. You got to dodge to build up. You have to attack to build up. You have, you know, only buffs for a certain number of turns. I mean, it's just every character has something like that. I mean, if there's a bad aspect of this guy's design, it's him needing a Buu Saga ally on rotation for his slot 1 and slot 2 and 3 abilities. That's the bad design portion for him. Up until Red Zone, this guy was best EZA, but best TUR in the game. I feel like this is just dead wrong. Dead wrong. So we would have been saying that this guy was better than like physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the tech androids, AGL Trunks, tech Kefla. Like no, no way. Wasn't dodge or die. Okay. No, I disagree. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and spend 10 minutes arguing this point about the end of 2021. But yeah, no. This guy is severely underrated. Let's read on, but understand that he's not the same as he was in February. It's not the same thing. And his team, now has significant buffs that didn't exist in February either. People tend to only focus on the fact that he doesn't do additional supers as often. I mean, is that what people focus on? Still gains defense and normal additionals, allowing him to survive. His value has also increased due to now having physical black as a Rainbow Change. It definitely does help. But now, I mean, they even have Cell Max and his taunt, man. That's like... I really think with Cell Max and his taunt, now I feel comfortable really, I think, sliding this guy up. I think so. Like with Cell Max and Super Easy Goku Black. Let me pull up my last tier list. I didn't do an updated one when Goku Black came out. I just wasn't, I didn't feel the need to. I think, man, I mean, I haven't used Cell Max yet. Obviously, it's not out. The domain update is on the horizon as well. Like, you could really get, you can't get Goku Black higher than right here in front of Dragon Fist. I think the best case scenario, everything perfect in his favor, Rosé is 5th on this list. That's how high he can get. I'm tempted to begin to think about him right here at 8. Yeah. I'm tempted to maybe think about him at 8. Well, no, we could put him above Frieza. I mean, I think I like Frieza's kit overall better, but, I mean, now, again, with Cell Max, Super Easy Goku Black, now all of a sudden running super bosses is not a proposition where every other run ends in death because the team is terrible. Now, Cell Max will do a lot. He's exactly what they needed. So now, because it's very difficult to just be like, yeah, dude, like, Goku Black is like top 3, man. When half of your runs, you die because the team is terrible and you got to run them with super boss characters. So I do think, like, we can start talking about Rosé up here now. I mean, I want to use Cell Max first, but yeah. Like, in this range. Like, by the time I do another TUR tier list, which would be probably, like, August 1st or something like that. This is the next time we're getting the other Dokkan Fest TUR. Rosé, he might seriously be up here, for sure. Because remember, we're getting Yellow Coin LR Cell Max. Then we get a Dokkan Fest LR in 2 weeks. Then we're going to get a Carnival LR about 2 or 3 weeks after that. And then we're going to get another Dokkan Fest TUR, is the schedule. So we're about... Cell Max is the first of 3 consecutive LRs on JP. Nah, you're losing me here. No one AGL LR Gohan? Nah, I'm good. Stacks fairly fast with having guard. Fairly easy to stay above 50% HP. Keeping him in base stack. No, I don't. What? Yeah, I don't. This is not a thread meant to bait me. There's no way. Because if this was intentionally a thread just to specifically bait me, like Rhodey's was a thread more aimed directly at me, but I do truly believe that Rhodey believed a lot of the points, right? Because what I was just a little nervous about was that this was full of things this person didn't believe just to bait me specifically. I'm not getting that. I mean, I guess you can run, dude. Jesus, look at this. This is the most there is, right? Oh my god. I mean, you probably could hide him on Vegeta's team. Although Broly, I would want to run Broly on the team, and Broly would debuff Gohan. You can run him under Beast Umbrella. I mean, at a certain point, every single character in the game could be run under Beast Gohan's umbrella, though, right? Like, that's where it begins. This is why, like, people need to just truly, face reality of how busted he is. Because he allows you know, people, like, this is why people, oh, is Super Saiyan 4 Goku really that bad because you could beat every event with him? Yeah, well, you could beat every event with a fucking Cyberman, too, because Beast just protects the whole team. Like, you know, is the Cyberman good now, too? Like, no. Like, no. I'm going to just say no, but, I mean, to be fair, I haven't really used them much. Maybe I could do, if you guys want a long video for this guy, maybe that could be a good idea. This could be a good character long video. Give me some tweets and stuff like that if you want to see this guy long video. Let's go, hon. Damn, we're 40 minutes in. I'm at 0.14. But yeah, this is the other thing, too, is that people... You need to understand that these videos allow me to really talk about these points at length. Like, okay. This is just stupid. I don't even want to read that. Like, bro, I see this. I just don't even want to read this. It's just comedy. Like, this is completely wrong. Besides units that age very fast, I mean, like, really 99% of characters do. Wicked Bloodline Red Zone, we didn't get that much. It's just wrong. Again, I don't really want to waste too much time, like, proving people wrong, but to say we didn't get that much is just comedy. It's comedy. Let me go find it. But, dude, they introduced Red Zone missions for every Red Zone during this celebration. It was this celebration. Missions were added to fight Broly, to fight Omega. They did so much, man. All right, let's just at a glance just kind of like speed through this. Okay, so we have the login already. That's really good, the special login. We had the Carnival plus Dokkan Fest, which is a better format. I mean, the best celebrations in Dokkan history are carrying this format, 9th anniversary included. We had the new Dokkan event. We had one of these special, you know, tickets leading to these big, like, banners of free characters. Co-op campaign. I mean, it's not really anything too crazy. I mean, you do have to count this in here. This counts. This is a celebration where we get the free, like, tickets, you know, from Stone Spent. There's that again. Yep, that. We had the new story event. Remember, they got just repeated tons of missions. Then there was these. You know, we do this to get stones right there. This, you know, back then, this was giving really good skill orbs for movie hero, movie boss characters. That was good. Again, there was missions. So, you know, we get the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone, and then they added a bunch of missions to the GT Red Zone. These were big-time missions, too. Real content. There was Boss Rush as well. This event. Now, what did they say about this? An abysmal pay-to-win event that no one liked. I mean, most people were overly whiny and bitching about it, but I do feel like a lot of the points people made were just flat out wrong. I mean, that's the thing about me too. Like, I'm not hesitant to tell you guys you're flat out wrong a lot of the times, right? Like, it is what it is. A lot of times, people, I mean, in this community, they really want like to like, oh my god, it's so bad, it's so terrible, it's like, bro, like, it's not that bad. It was not that bad. Like, there was one stage that was very, very challenging in there. I've gotten too many tabs open again. Here, what is this? Who is this? This is Future Gohan? Yeah, we don't need this. Let's get rid of this. We don't need Beast and UI and Vegeta up anymore. Okay. And then that's Gohan right there. We'll get rid of that. There was the one, what was the one stage that was actually really tough? Yeah, dude, even on my new PC, the site still crashes. Ain't that some shit? Bro, I got a $5,000 PC. Like, I was, we're going in. So that I could use the Dokkan Wiki without it freaking crashing on me. And my YouTube streams wouldn't crash. And both still happen. God damn it. Is this one, right? This is the stage that was so crazy? The one where people were using the Metal Cooler movie Piccolo and nuking it? Pretty sure it was the Metal Cooler core stage. That's the one that was really tough. Part 2 was even worse, giving us units dead on release and subpar EZAs. Yeah, no offense, but this person, like, Cosmic just doesn't really understand things very well. I mean, the sub EZAs in Part 2 were incredible. Please, I implore you, go back and look at my initial breakdown for Metal Cooler movie Piccolo. I said, this is an amazing EZA. He is going to have so much use moving forward. You cannot call that Metal Cooler movie Piccolo a subpar EZA. You can't. No way. Battlefield, the keys, stuff like that. double big time EZAs. This was the Tech Final Form Cooler sub EZA who was solid, but you know, it was tough to run him and LR Cooler at the same time. That was that. We had that up. The Zenny campaigns. I think this was one of the first time they started doing that, right? Where they gave crazy Zenny for the whatchamacallit? So there was that. Then we got another Dokkan Fest and Carnival. Another Dokkan event. This is just co-op campaign. The tickets still continuing that. The Metal Cooler EZA. The really good Metal Cooler Link level event. Then we have this. This was one of those, like, kind of like, nuking event isn't the right way to word it. It's an event just like the Bardock, where it's kind of like a wave event or something. Like an AoE event, or like maybe we could call it something like that. Then we had stages for the story, more Wicked Bloodline Red Zone stages. Then we had the missions for Broly. That story event got a revamp. Tons of EZAs right there. We had the free-to-play EZA stages and awakenings for all the free-to-play Metal Coolers. That, like, dude, like, you can't look at all this and say that there wasn't that much here. Then Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. And then we get to part 3, and there was still a bunch more shit, right? So then they drop co-op campaign. They finish the story event stages there. Dragon Ball story right there. They finish out the stages there. Last couple stages here, including, they also added missions as well against Metal Cooler Core. Then we got the STR Cooler EZA. Then they had all their EZAs. And then we end with a chain battle. Like, dude, that celebration, that's a top 3 celebration in the game. It's just, like, that's right up there. Like, you can't, like, I don't see how you could possibly say it's overrated. I don't think so. How long is this going? Let's maybe speed up. Broly is still the second best anniversary unit. No. What? No, wrong. No. Gogeta has a tons. Automatically. Like, that's done. Like, Broly is so crazy with his damage and stuff like that. A lot of times he can hold up well defensively, but better than Gogeta? No way. Remember, Broly and Gogeta are both subpar at the start of the fight. They are. Like, they could do a lot of attacks, but they're going to really struggle in slot 1. You know, they could get cooked against, like, Cell Max and Trunks and some of these tougher fights right away. But, like, Gogeta's Rainbow Orb changing at the same time. Gogeta's the best Rainbow Orb changer in the game. Okay. I don't know why people have it in their heads that he needs to be slot 1. Again, this is... I take this as talking from inexperience, personally. You don't have the luxury to just run this character in slot 2 every single time you're running him. It just doesn't, like, it's not a thing that exists. This guy's going to end up in slot 1 a lot because he's just going to flat out be a better option to run in slot 1 over other characters. The only time this is not going to happen, I mean, even if you're running him on his own team, you know, you could put Beast and Evolution Blue Vegeta and go, well, Gogeta's not going to go in slot 1 over him unless he's transformed with his dodge. But, like, there's going to be spots where he ends up in slot 1. I take this as a sign of inexperience. It's not the way it works. Like people just think that there's just infinite way better characters that can go in slot 1 all these times, and it's not the case. You throw him slot 2 and it's fine. A lot of the times, yeah, but it's not that simple. Like, it's just not. Damage is insane with his guard. He's only going to get better when they do the domain updates. Is he? I mean, yeah, certainly, I guess, but because the reason I say Izzy is because if we're trying to win, I mean, Zamasu and Goku Black can get shot straight into the depths of hell for all I care. If we're trying to win, we go Broly's domain every time. Go through all these videos where it's like, all right, like, you know, like I'm like, all right, like our only chance to win here is Broly's domain at the end. I'm talking about this in, like, repeatedly in a lot of these videos. Like, we're only winning with Broly's domain. Like, it's right here, right? Yeah. Like, this team build. Like, it's like, bro, like, we're not using Rosé's domain. Like, where the point is get to the end, and Broly will carry us home. Broly is very good. But Gogeta, I mean, with that Rainbow Orb changing at the start, and then his taunt, like, that's... The team protector abilities are just way too good. Like, Cell Max is better than Broly as well. Because, why? Taunt. Although, to be fair about the Cell Max point, I want to use him first. So don't hold me to anything like I don't push super hard opinions really before I use the character a lot. Okay, yeah, this is right. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Boom. Perfect. Carnival X Dokkan Fest is very good. Boom. They've done it twice and it's been majorly successful both times. Okay, yeah, again, I don't think that this is, this thread is baiting me. Private server debate is stupid because it doesn't kill the game by any means. People just want to use the units they got shafted on, then they don't have to wait 6 months to play them. Dokkan has one of the worst pity systems in any gacha game. I mean, it's a struggle to even say they have a pit. Well, the coins are not pity. Okay, yeah, because we're kind of mixing. This could have been point 17 and 18, by the way. There's 2 different points. We're talking about the private server shit, which, I mean, private servers are actually, yes, factually damaging the game. It's taking players off the game. There's 2 metrics they're looking at: people that spend money and people, you know, time put into the app. Guess what? Newsflash, when you're playing the fucking private server, you're not actually playing the fucking game. Like, yes, you're damaging the game by playing that. And it's like, dude, like, we're going to get down the rabbit hole. People keep asking me for, like, a 1 hour long rant video on private servers. I mean, it's just very simple. They damage the fucking game, period. End of story. Like, there's no argument to be had. They're damaging the game. Like, they need to go. They need to get the fuck out of here. All of them. Like, boom, done. That's like, it's not a long conversation to be had. Now, this is different because Cosmic is pointing out these coins as pity, which they're not. Like, these are like a loyalty system. The pity is what's on yellow coin LR banners. And that's it. I mean, it's a, again, what is it? 1,000 stones to get 1 guaranteed copy, and it's on yellow coin banners, which those banners suck, and I wouldn't recommend anyone summoning on those at all. So I don't know. Again, there's 2 different points being made right there. Target mechanic just seems like a worse version of Ghost Usher. Not only does it not affect AoEs, but the second a new boss drops that cancels dodge, blue Gogeta is screwed. Yeah, okay, but not Beast is not screwed. Cell Max is not screwed. Although, to be fair, they said this before Cell Max existed. Like, so, sure, fine, that's fine. This mechanic needs an improvement. No, it doesn't. It does not at all. It's fine. It doesn't need improvement at all. Not everything, like, people just really want, like, they want the game to, like, auto play itself. Like, I don't, like, there's not, like, not everything is going to be 100% perfect. The domains need to be adjusted, for sure. Target, like this, the taunts are fine. Dude, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with these whatsoever. I still haven't actually gotten around to using this character a lot. They just haven't really been a competitor, or, like a character on any of the teams, any of the new teams. So I haven't really, like, they weren't, you know, obviously, during the Golden Week celebration, none of the characters that came out, I was using them. Right? Like, this character just hasn't really been a character on teams. They hold up very well as floaters. The big boss normals would definitely give them trouble. But, I mean, as long as they don't get hit by one of the big boss supers, a lot of times they'd be okay. So what I'm saying is the big boss normals is like, you know, Blue Gogeta and Trunks and Kid Buu. Like, when they're fully built up and then they super attack and then they do normals afterwards, that is certainly damaging this character, right? They gain defense, possibly 4 super attacks. You have support, revive, and standby. I mean, yeah, they definitely have tools. This is another character I need to badly revisit. I do, for sure. Yeah, we've talked about this repeatedly. Goku Vegeta for part 1, Super Saiyan 2. Well, no, I actually, it would be in reverse. It's the Super Saiyans would be the headliners, and Goku and Vegeta would not be. Right? Like, I mean, because we've literally already seen that enough. We've seen that before. I do think, I mean, they could definitely format a celebration where these 2, I think it would work. It would work. The whole celebration built around Saiyan Saga, though, would be, like, who would be the other 2? LRs, right? Like, the problem is that these guys specifically need Dokkan Fest. Both of them. Saiyan Saga Goku and Saiyan Saga Vegeta both specifically need Dokkan Fest. Which, you know, it's like, you know, we've seen they've done dual Dokkan Fest in part 1, but they don't do a dual Dokkan Fest in part 2. They're not going to open... All right, part 1 of the celebration is double Carnival, right? They're not doing that. Speaking of dual... New Year's dual Dokkan... Wait, what? Huh? Wait, hold on. Let me rub my eyes. What? New Year's dual Dokkan Fest seems to be completely abandoned. Most New Year's dual Dokkan Fest always age out by the anniversary. PyCon, Janemba. What? Oh, okay. I was never a big fan of Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, I was never a fan of them, sure. But a lot of people like them way more than I did. And then, yeah, Paikon and Janemba, hello? Like, you could still dick around with Paikon and Janemba. And then, who was after Paikon and Janemba? It was... Uh-oh. My memories fail me. Oh, Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu. I mean, yeah, Kid Buu kind of got cucked. I'm not really... I'm probably Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku's biggest hater. That's probably what I am. Because, I mean, he did... But, okay, at a certain point, though, the 7th anniversary had the most toxic power creep ever. Like, that was one specific occurrence that was really bad. Yeah, this is just a terrible point. It's just not. You know what's so funny? Which is also another reason no one summons. The New Year's is top grossing every year because the sales are unbelievable. And people usually, in my experience, what I think happens a lot of times, a lot of Japanese players do go crazy buying sales, and then they use them for anniversary. But yeah, I mean, this is just... Come on. No. Oh! Maybe this is baiting me. Does Chipotle count as fast food? I guess it probably does, right? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I have been known... I had to stop getting Chipotle because, dude, they're assholes, period. They're so stingy. It should be illegal how much food Chipotle... Like, I've never really taken pictures. It's like, what I would get was, I really like the Chipotle ingredients. Like, just like kind of like the lettuce and the little salsa and the cheese and stuff like that. Like, I would essentially order, like, a Chipotle salad. Like, I'd get, like, a burrito bowl, but I wouldn't get rice, no beans, and no meat. I would just get, like, basically the salad portion, and then I'd cook salmon myself, throw some nuts on that bitch, and it was good. But I had to stop doing it, because 9 times out of 10, they're ripping me off so hard. It's like $50, and the amount of food I get, even for me, like, it's just a ripoff. I just can't do it. It's just a ripoff. It's a ripoff. They're so stingy that, like, I borderline am hating Chipotle, but it's so good. Yeah, it's so good. All right, there we go. Okay, so now that we're at the end, do I regret doing a video here? Hell no. No way. I feel like we got a lot of good points off, and I know y'all love that thumbnail.